Bonjour tout le monde. Good morning, everyone. My name is Darlene Boileau. I'm on the board of directors of the Ottawa branch for the National Association of Federal Retirees. I'd like to welcome you on this lovely sunny day. I would like to begin by acknowledging that the land on which the National Association of Federal Retirees, as well as where I'm sitting, for the Ottawa branch office is located in traditional unceded territory of the Algonquin Anishinaabe people. On behalf of the Ottawa branch, I'm pleased to welcome you to today's webinar entitled Meditation and Mindful Movements for Mental Health, presented by Meg Stickl, owner of AIM Fitness. Veuillez noter que le webinaire sera présenté en anglais, mais la participation bilingue est toujours encouragée. Alors, vous pouvez afficher vos questions dans la langue de votre choix. I want to give a special welcome to anybody here who is not yet a member of the association. We hope these webinars will inspire you to join us. And to our members, we hope that these webinars will encourage you to maintain your membership and stay with us. Remember that you can give the gift of membership, and to learn more about the gift of membership as well as any other information around our webinars, please click the link in the chat box to access the National Association website. After today's webinar, the Ottawa branch will send you an email with instructions on how to access the recording of the webinar and how to join the association. Remember too that you can always invite non-members to register for our webinars as guests, and they can try us out for free. And I would encourage you to reach out to your friends and relatives to see if they want to join us in these healthy aging sessions. There'll be a question and answer period at the end of the webinar. Please type your questions in the chat box throughout the session and we'll read them aloud for Meg for her response. Now I'm going to turn the presentation over to our speaker for the morning. So Meg, over to you.
All right, thank you, Darlene. And good morning, everyone. Nice to see you all. So we're going to be doing a few things this morning together, and really our focus is on relaxation, relieving stress. And as the week of May 2nd to 10th was really focused on Mental Health Week here in Canada, we are going to have a discussion as well today. I have a few questions prepared. Maybe some of you got them ahead of time, but if you do want to participate in that discussion, we'll be doing that following about 30 minutes of stretching and relaxation movements. And then at the very end, I'm going to be leading us through a guided meditation that can, again, just really relax you, help you to relieve any stress that you may be encountering. All right, so we're going to start our movements either sitting on a chair, or if you feel comfortable to do so, you can also move to the floor. So I'm going to start here on the chair, but if there's any different movements that may look a little different on the floor, I'll demonstrate that. So feel free to pull out a yoga mat, get comfortable, do what you wish as we get started. All right, so we're going to start by sitting either on the edge of your chair, so you can sit a little straighter, or even cross-legged on the floor. And we're just going to start by closing our eyes. And I really encourage you to take a few deep breaths. So in through the nose and out through the mouth. And again, in through the mouth and out through the mouth. And back to the nose, breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. Good. As you do this, allow your shoulders to sink a little bit lower, breathing in and out. And one more time, breathing in and out. And I invite you to join me for this next half hour to really allow your body to move as it wishes, to let go of anything that may be on your mind, and to really be present. Now, if you do find that you're distracted or thinking about anything else, just refocus on your breath, in through your nose and out through your mouth, and also focus on the different parts of your body that we're moving. All right, so we're going to start by taking your legs nice and wide. I'll show you in a seated position in a second. And we're going to start by bringing your arm up overhead and leaning to the side. Bringing that arm down towards the floor and circling your arm around. Doing some big arm circles here. All right, so if you're on the floor, you can sit with straight legs, you can sit with bent knees. Look something like this. We really want to focus on leaning to the side, circling that arm around, noticing the stretch down the side of your body into your arm. And breathing in and breathing out. And now, if you do have any shoulder issues, or if your body today is saying, I don't like that, just adapt the movement. So either change it a little bit, don't go quite as far, or you can choose to just sit that move out. Good, let's do 2 more circles. Breathing in and out. Good, and one more time. All right, excellent. So we're going to do the same on the other side. So place your hand on your knee. Same thing. We're going to reach up and lean, reaching that arm. Almost like you're swimming, pulling that water past you. As you're doing this, notice the stretch down the side of your body. Part of being mindful, being present in this moment, is paying attention to what is. Great. Very good. All right, let's do a few more. Just a reminder that you can sit on a chair. You don't have to be on the floor with me, but you can. You can do whatever you want today. You'll notice my little dog, Finley, is beside me. He's meditating already. All right, 2 more circles. Good, feel that right in the side of your body, underneath that armpit, and 1. All right, good. From here, we're going to circle those shoulders backwards. Circling back. Good. All right, as you're doing this, really straighten up those shoulders. Try to sit as tall as you can, and then circle back. From here, we're going to move to 1 shoulder at a time. 1 shoulder at a time, circling backwards. Good. 2 more per side. 1. And then we'll change directions. We're going to go the opposite way. All right, so these stretches can definitely be done at any time of day. I really love doing stretching right in the morning, first thing. And I've been doing this consistently for quite a while. And I find that when I spend time moving my body, focusing on me first thing in the morning, then the rest of my day tends to go a lot smoother. Because I feel like I've already filled up my own tank before I fill up other people's. All right, and I don't know your situation, but maybe you have been under a lot of stress recently. Maybe you've been caring for people, or there's just a lot going on in your world. We've all been going through COVID, and that's been a lot. That's been a lot. So I really believe it's important to fill your own tank in a way that feels good for you. All right, now I'm going to turn to the side. You can stay where you are, but the next one we'll do is a nice shoulder squeeze. You're going to reach your arms straight in front and then bend your elbows and squeeze your shoulder blades back together. You're going to reach in front and squeeze back. And so continuing to breathe, breathing in and out. Now, as you squeeze those shoulder blades back, think about sitting up a little straighter, even puffing your chest out. Reach and squeeze. Breathing in and breathing out. All right, very good. Now, as we continue, we're also going to add a bit of a movement for your neck. So as you reach, let's look down towards the chair or the floor. And then as we squeeze back, look up. So look down as you reach and squeeze back, look up. All right, so you may feel this a little bit more into your upper back. Very awesome. Let's do a few more. And take your time with this one. If one of the movements feels especially good, you can always stay there a little longer. Breathing in and breathing out. Looking up. Good. 3 more. Good. And 2. And 1. All right, excellent. Now, if you are sitting on the floor like me, we're going to next straighten one leg. One leg is straight, the other leg is bent. I'll show you the seated option in just a sec. What we're going to do is we're going to be placing one hand close to your knee. Opposite arm is going to be rising up over our head like we did earlier, but we're going to be leaning a little bit more to the side and then lowering that hand down to the floor. Okay, so we're leaning, reaching towards that foot, but again, doing it from a side angle. So right now, you're on the chair, very similar. We'll take that leg in front. What we'll do instead of doing the side is we're going to reach with the same arm and then reach down towards that foot. Okay, so we're doing the same side if you're sitting on a chair or the couch. And notice the stretch in the back of the leg. All right, awesome. Now, I work with a lot of people who often tell me that they experience aches and pains, and often I hear it's related to arthritis. And sometimes the best thing to do is to continue to move through the motion to lubricate the joint, and it's really movement that can do that. So keeping in mind the importance of moving and improving and working on our mobility, this is going to help you for your everyday activities, but it's also going to help you for the future as you continue to age and as your body may change in specific ways. All right, very good. Now we're going to be, again, reaching, and let's hold it here. So you can reach that hand down your leg just as far as you can go. Maybe you're touching your ankle, maybe going a bit further. But hold it here. Let's take some deep breaths. And as you're breathing, focus on the breathing and also notice the sensation down the back of your leg. All right, so keep going. We'll hold it for a few more seconds. All right, good. Slowly come on up and we'll do the other side. So lengthen the opposite leg. We're going to do the same thing here. Reaching up and leaning over. Reaching towards your foot, I should say. For those of you that want to continue on the floor, I'll demonstrate that one. We're switching the legs, doing the opposite knee, and reaching your arm up and over. Stretching into the back of the leg. All right, good. So noticing your breathing, noticing the stretch, noticing it right in the back of the leg, even in your back too, and your arm as you're reaching. And something to pay attention here is what side is more flexible? What side becomes a little bit more, a little tighter? Which side can you reach further? Very good. Yes, I'm getting a question here. Thank you, Lucy. I'm just going to read that out. Keep moving, everyone. So we continue breathing through the nose and out through the mouth. Yes. Yes. Thank you for asking that. I'm sure other people are wondering that too. Continue breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth. All right, good. Let's do a few more here. Last 2. And one more time. And then we're going to hold it here. So reaching down towards that foot or as low as you can go comfortably. We're going to hold it for about 10 seconds or so. Breathing in and out. Going to reaching just far enough to feel the stretch, but no pain. Good. All right, good. Slowly come on up. Amazing, amazing. Good. So our next one that we're going to do is for the hips. So we're going to bring your feet right together and we're going to take the knees out and in. This is easier to do on the edge of the chair or the couch. And I'll show you what you can do from the floor in just a sec. All right, so take the knees out and in. Our hips tend to get very tight from all the sitting that we do. This one is a good hip loosener, I'd say. If you're on the floor, you can sit like this, leaning back a little bit against with your hands behind you. And we'll do the same motion, knees out and in. Now, I know not everyone likes to exercise on the floor, so if that's not comfortable for you, I do recommend doing some of these movements on your bed or even on your couch. It's really important for us to train our body to be in different positions. Recently, I've been doing a lot of fall prevention workshops and talks, and what I know from my experience, but also from research, is that a lot of people are worried about falling. And if there's a percentage that's 47% of people who fall, who are uninjured, have a hard time getting up off the floor on their own. So it's important for us to train our body to get down, either get on the floor or practice some of these motions somewhere that you feel comfortable. All right, good. Let's do 3, 2, and 1. All right, excellent, excellent, that's good. I'll move back up here for the next demonstration. All right, good. So for the next one, we're going to bring your hands to your shoulders and we're going to circle the arms backwards. And at the same time, we're going to be rocking those feet. So we're going to be lifting up your toes and then lifting your heels. All right, so hands comfortably on your shoulders. Think about doing some large circles with your elbows. And then at the same time, we're lifting the toes and then lifting the heels. On the floor, very similar. All right. It'll be harder to lift your heels on the floor, so just focus on those toes. Great. So as you flex your foot, so as you point the toe up, notice a bit of a stretch in the back of the legs. You've been doing some walking recently in the beautiful weather that we've been having here in Ottawa this week, then you may encounter sore or stiff legs from doing more. Okay, very good. Let's do a few more. And let's do 5 more. 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, great. Now I'll show you from the chair what our next one is. We're going to be moving into a bit of a twist. All right, so if you have had a hip or knee replacement, I recommend crossing at your ankles, bringing your hand to your knee, right the side of your knee, and then we're going to be straightening up our shoulders, straighten your spine, and add a bit of a twist. Look over your shoulder, and you can even press into the side of your chair, the side of your knee. If your knees are good and you want to deepen the stretch into your outer thigh, you can do the same twist, but cross the leg over the other leg. And then from here, we're going to twist. So we're going to hold it here for a little bit. I'm going to show you the seated option as well. Right, so the seated option is bringing one leg across the other and doing the same motion. Your bottom leg is lying flat on the floor, bent knee, take the other leg up, foot on the floor. All right, so think about lengthening that spine. Good, looking over that shoulder, taking a few deep breaths in through your nose, out through your mouth. And as you're doing this, as you're breathing, just imagine that as you breathe in, you can picture your breath going up your spine, up to your head. As you breathe out, send your breath down from your neck all the way down your spine. So visualizing is another way to keep ourselves in the present moment. So just imagine that there's a bright light going up your spine. As you breathe in, breathe out, the light goes down your spine. Let's do 5 more, picturing this. 4. And 3. 2 more. And 1. All right, slowly come out of that one. Let's bring your hands together and we're going to just do a nice gentle twist side to side. I just noticed, do you feel a little bit more stretched out on one side? All right, you may hear a bit of cracking. That's pretty normal. All right, let's do the other side. So again, switching legs, if you're on the floor, opposite leg, straighten up your spine, holding onto your knee and twisting. The same thing if you're on the chair, switching legs. All right, so lengthen that spine, sit as tall as you can, and then twist to the side, pressing into your knee. All right, and bring your attention to your breath, and same thing, let's imagine breathing in, imagine a light going all the way up your spine, and then breathe out, lowering that light down your spine. All right, one more time. All right, awesome. Let's bring those hands back together. You can relax those legs. And again, we're going to do a little twist side to side, noticing how your back is feeling. You might feel a little bit more flexible after that one. A little looser. Just like when we're young, we're told to count sheep to fall asleep. Did anyone ever do that? You can wave if you've done that before. You've heard it anyways, right? Counting sheep. And what it does is it focuses you on something other than what time it is, right? It gets you distracted, but it also has you focus on something. So it's the same thing when we think about these mindful movements that we're doing, whether I'm saying focus on your breath or focus on this or that. It really gets us out of our own head. I think a lot of the time we focus on, it's easy to have these thoughts pop into our head, to worry or think about something that's present in your life. Nothing wrong with that, but it's also important to give ourselves a bit of a break. All right, excellent. I'll demonstrate the next one seated in a chair. So the next one we're going to stretch out the back a little bit more. So we're going to walk your hands. And if you do have any tightness in your hands from being on the computer a lot or on your phone, or if you have arthritis, it's good to actually physically move every finger. So we're going to walk your fingers down your legs, walk your feet a little bit further away from you, and then we're going to go as far as you can down your legs. Stretching right into your back, into your lower back, especially for this one, and then slowly walk those fingers back up your legs. From here, we're going to bring those arms up overhead, stretch it up. You can even look up towards the ceiling, lower the arms, and then we're going to continue leaning over, walking as far as you can down your legs. Continue with that. Now, of course, your other option is to do this with straight legs, sitting down on the floor or on the couch. Same thing, leaning over, going as far as you can, and then coming back to a seated position where your shoulders are back, and then reach overhead. And if you need a little bit of encouragement to relax, maybe you haven't fully relaxed yet, just have a look at Finley. He's here to remind you that it's okay to let it go. Everything will take care of itself. And just continue breathing at your own pace, continuing with the in and out. Right, excellent. All right, now as I raise my arms overhead, something this reminds me of, and you can keep moving as I talk, but something this reminds me of is putting positive words and affirmations into our vocabulary. So quite often when we experience anxiety or worry, it doesn't help to continue to think about that thing that we're worried about. But instead, what I like to encourage people to do is to look at how can you look at the situation a little bit different? What do you need to hear? And how can you start saying that to you yourself? So for an example, let's say you really want to become healthy, but you don't always feel healthy. What you can start saying as you lift up those arms or throughout the day is, I am getting healthier every single day. I am making healthy decisions. I am proud of how I am taking care of myself. So those are some positive affirmations that you can start to say. Personally, I love to write down those affirmations, and I like to put them on little cards around my house, just as a reminder. And that's something I just did a few weeks ago, and it has started to sink in. Those things that I write down, as I read them, they really start to sink in. All right, let's finish up here with this one. Let's raise those arms up, and if there's something positive you want to say to yourself in this moment, go ahead, say it out louder to yourself, and then lower those arms. Awesome, awesome job. That's good. All right, we're going to be moving to a few more stretches for your neck and shoulders. This is another area where we tend to hold on to tension. So we're going to start by bringing your shoulders down. We're going to place those hands beside you, and we're going to be bringing your ear towards your shoulder. Now, to deepen the stretch, you can lift one arm, so the opposite side, and just angle those fingers up. Press away, and that should deepen that stretch down the side of your neck. Continue breathing. Noticing that stretch right down the side of your neck. Good. Yeah, right there. All right, let's release that hand and slowly lift that head up. Let's do the other side. But before we do, we're just going to do a little side movement, bringing your ear towards your shoulder, your neck, your shoulders. Yes. Good. All right, one more per side. And then we'll do the other side here. So bring that ear towards your shoulder, keeping your shoulders low, lifting the opposite hand and angle those fingers up. Taking some deep breaths. Now, when we're holding stretches like that, we want to hold them for at least 30 seconds. Quite often when we stretch, we may hold them for 5 seconds and we're doing it on our own. And it's really not long enough. Now, if you tend to be very stiff and sore, then you want to hold a bit longer, maybe up to a minute or even a minute and a half. Right, good. Let's lower your hand. We'll do the same thing, ear towards your shoulder, side to side. Noticing the difference. Right, now the other day I was talking to a woman and she was saying, Meg, I have a lot of pain in the kind of the back area of my neck, not quite the side, a little further back. How do I stretch that? So this is another area I tend to get quite stiff in. So what I want you to do is you're going to be looking not straight down, but slightly to an angle. So you can look down at your thigh or even at towards your breast or your chest, that area. So keep your shoulders relaxed, looking down. And hold it here, keep breathing. And as you're holding it here, just imagine the tension just falling off your shoulders. So it's totally being released. Up. You can even give yourself a little bit of massage where you felt that stretch. Good. We'll do the other side. So the interesting thing about a lot of the stretches, but especially around the neck, is if you look just slightly, maybe a quarter of a turn to the side, it will hit a different part of your neck. So if you do find there's a part that tends to get really stiff, you can almost play around with where do you need to look in order to stretch that part of it. So let's do the other side. We're going to look down towards your chest, down towards your lap. You may hear some cracking. I just heard a little bit. Relax those shoulders. Focus on your breath and focus on where is it that I feel that stretch? How does that feel? Good. All right, take a few more deep breaths. We'll hold it here for just a few more seconds. So one more time. All right, good. Let's look up and just stretch that out. Let's again stretch the back of your neck where that stretch hit. All right, good work, good work. All right, so we're going to finish off with some breathing. You can choose to add your arms, or you can choose to have your hands here in your lap. All right, so we're going to lift those arms up overhead. Inhale and exhale, lower those hands to your lap. You can also choose to take it a bit further by leaning forwards to stretch into your back. Lots of options. Breathing in through your nose, out through your mouth. We'll do one more forwards, and then we're going to do a few to the side. Breathing out. Right, and then back to how we started. We're going to have your arms out to the side beside you, and we're going to breathe and lean to the side. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. So pay attention to how your body is feeling. This has been a good 30 minutes of movement. And not only pay attention to your body, but also pay attention to your mind. Are you feeling like a little bit more relaxed? And one more time per side. And then last time here. All right, excellent, excellent. Give yourself a hug, a pat on your back. Great work. So we're going to be transitioning now into our discussion about mental health, about what helps you relieve stress. So for this, if you want to participate, you can either feel free to unmute yourself, or you can type in the chat as well. If you've got some water, feel free to have a sip of water this time. All right, so I do have a few questions that we can discuss. All right. Now, when I was looking into this week, Canadian Mental Health Week, one of the articles I came across was really interesting, and I wanted to share just a little bit about that. So what they were talking about in the article was empathy. And I'm not sure how much you know about empathy, but I think empathy is very, very important and crucial for us as we think about what we as a collective, as a society, have gone through the past 2 years, going through the COVID pandemic. So what empathy is, and here's the definition: empathy is the ability to share someone else's feelings or experiences by imagining what it would be like to be in their situation. What it would be like to be in their situation. So when I work with a client who's had a hip replacement and they've had to go through rehab, I don't quite understand what that's been like because I haven't lived through that. I haven't had that experience. But when I empathize, I can imagine that, wow, that must have been really hard for them. It must have been hard to not know if the surgery would go well. It would be hard to not be able to use their leg and to have the independence and mobility that they're used to. It must have been hard to have to relearn how to walk after surgery. And whether they had support or not, that could be a really challenging time. So empathy is putting yourself in someone else's shoes. What would it be like for that person? And what they talked about as well is the words, and I love these words: I can relate, or I've been there, I get it. Or if you don't understand, maybe you haven't been in that person's shoes, you can say, wow, it sounds like that's been really tough for you. I imagine that's been a challenging time. And even reflecting back what you hear someone share, if they do share, oh, it's been hard. I've been, COVID has been really tough on myself and my family. And, maybe your situation has been different. Maybe you can't completely relate, but empathizing, I'm just imagining what would it be like for that person, and feeling some of those emotions. I think that's another part of empathy, is to not be completely removed, but to say, wow, if I was in that situation, what emotions would I feel? I might feel scared. I might feel really upset or angry. So when we talk about, Canadian Mental Health Week, yes, it's so important to think about what can we do for ourselves. And my questions are going to be focused on that. But I wanted to bring to the table, how can we empathize more? How can we care for other people in our life? Whether it's someone you know well, someone who you love, a family member, a friend, or maybe it's someone that you just meet or you cross paths with at the grocery store. Maybe it's someone you pass on the street. All right, so I wanted to share that. Now, the first question that I wanted for us to talk about. Okay, good question. So how is sympathizing different from empathizing? Oh, that's a good question. That's a good question. I would have to look up the definition, and I'm going to do that actually because I'm curious. Because sympathizing is a little different, isn't it? And I know I've heard the definitions before. I'm going to look that up really quick. While I'm looking it up, I'm going to share the first question I wanted us to discuss, because this is something we can share in the chat, or you can share it loud. So when you're going through a challenging time, what do you do to stay positive? When you're going through a challenging time or a stressful time, maybe you can think back to a time in your life that was tough. Maybe you can think back to now. Maybe you're dealing with something now, or maybe you can think back to over the pandemic. How do you stay positive? What do you do to stay positive? Okay, and I've got a definition. This actually works. This really explains it. Thanks, Lucy. I'm so glad you brought that up. So sympathy involves understanding from your own perspective. So if sympathy is, oh, well, too bad for that person, you know, from your own perspective, not really getting as emotionally involved, not putting yourself in the other person's shoes. Whereas empathy involves putting yourself in the other person's shoes and understanding why they may have these particular feelings. In becoming aware of the root cause of why a person feels the way they do, we can better understand and provide healthier options. So that's good. Yeah. All right, good to see a little bit of the difference, right? Okay, so our first question, when you're going through a challenging time, what do you do to stay positive? Yeah, so focusing on how you're going to overcome this fear. Okay, awesome. And Erin has shared an article, Sympathy versus Empathy from Psychiatric Medical Care. Awesome. Okay, that's great. So that'll be a good one to check out. I'm sure there's a lot more there. All right, anyone else want to share how you stay positive during a challenging time? When we share, we may learn from each other. We may have some new ideas. I find something that helps me is, and I've heard this before, is to make a list of what are those things that you can do when you are having a hard time. Because I think sometimes in the midst of a challenging time, it's often harder to go to those things. Sometimes we have our default, or we may have some unhealthy habits that we tend to turn to instead of those healthy habits. Even if we know this is good for me, it still can take a lot of effort. So I've heard that. Make a list. What are those things that you like? Personally, doing anything with my dog makes me feel really good, makes me feel positive. So maybe that's cuddling him on the couch. He loves to play as much as he likes to sleep. He does like to play. So anytime he plays, I'm throwing his toy around or chasing with him. I can't help but laugh. Something else that helps me is to get outside of my house, to go out for a walk, to have a different perspective on life, and when I go for a walk, it's easy to go and look at our feet as we're walking and to just ruminate and think. But I like to think about, wow, look at the sky, look at the plants and the trees, the flowers, look how expansive the world is. And that just gives me some perspective that, okay, even if this is going on in my life, at the same time, there's some good. There's some good out there. All right, good. We've got some more people sharing. Physical exercise. George shares hanging out with friends and meditation. Awesome. Yeah, moving your body, being around other people. Yeah, and meditating. That's great. Darlene, I visualize a happy place, like my dog in the park, the picture of the ocean, a sunset, or the forest. Oh, I love that. Yeah, that's a really good idea. Yeah, there's so many places that we can go to, even in our mind. Yeah, that can help to relax us. Awesome. The next question I wanted to ask, oh, we've got one more. Acknowledge what is in my control and what isn't. Let go of whatever is out of my control. That's a good one. That's a really good one. Yeah, putting things into perspective. Talking to little grandkids and taking them for a walk. Oh, Lucy, how old are your grandkids? It's true, being around children, they really can help you just relax and have fun. Yeah, I've got two little nieces who are 4 and 5. Oh, yours are 6, 4, and 2. Oh my goodness. Yeah, just about the same age as my nieces. Oh my goodness, and nephew. Very, very precious to see life through a kid's eyes. Oh, I think someone's unmuted there. Not sure if you wanted to share. All right, so question number 2, we'll move to this, is what is the best advice that you've received regarding your mental health, or the best advice you've heard or gotten through going through a challenging time? What has helped you? maybe the best advice you've given or the best advice you've received. Sometimes when you're going through something, advice isn't always helpful. And it kind of brings us back to the whole topic of empathy, that sometimes we don't want to be fixed. We don't want to have a solution. We just want to be heard. We just want someone to listen. We just want to feel like someone hears us, someone understands where we're at. That's something that I'm constantly reminding myself as, if people are sharing things with me, I want to say, okay, does this person actually want advice? All right, George shares, get counseling. Yes, that's good advice. Isn't that good advice? Sometimes we really need that. We really need to get some professional help. And I've gone for counseling in the past a few times, and it has been the best thing possible. It's helpful to have someone who is not related to you that you can share with. Having a professional opinion, very important. I've heard there's a saying, this too shall pass. This too shall pass. That when we look at the seasons, we look at, now we're into spring, although it feels like summer. We know that summer is coming, the real summer is coming, and then fall and winter. There's seasons of life, and the season that you're in is going to change. All right, we've got another comment. Feel your feelings. Oh, isn't that good? What a good reminder. It's easy to push our feelings to the side or not want to feel them. What good advice is that? Take a course on be in the moment. Very, very low dose of stress. All right. Yeah, so take a course, listen to a podcast, find a video, something to help. Keep a gratitude journal. Breathe in a conscious manner several times during the day. Awesome. These are really great, really good pieces of advice. I love it. All right, we've got one more question. All right, so the last question for today, are there physical things, movement, exercise, something that you can do that helps to improve your mental health? Is there anything that you can do? I find personally going for a jog just really clears my mind. I love going for a jog. That really works for me. And then also yoga. All right, I see that you shared the same, Lucy. Yeah, gentle yoga, Tai Chi. Yes, yeah, it's just something that movement, there's something so therapeutic about moving our bodies. Hopefully this morning, a bit earlier, you're feeling more relaxed just from doing our mindful movements together as well. These are things that we can do to really physically move. And Marie shares take a walk with a friend. Oh, that's a really good one too. That's really good. Yeah, there's something about connecting with someone, talking, you're moving. Yeah. I've had amazing conversations with friends while walking that I know wouldn't have been the same if we were sitting looking at each other. There's something about moving and talking that's really powerful. Awesome. All right, if anyone has anything to add, you can. And then we're going to take about 5 minutes or so as we finish up to end with a guided meditation. So I encourage you to find a comfortable place to sit if you aren't already there. Maybe have another sip of water. I'm going to do that before we start. And we're going to take 5 minutes to, again, bring ourselves back to the present moment, to relax, and as well to really focus on what we talked about, meditation, letting go, putting things into perspective. This is something that I love to do. And I find with a guided meditation, it really lets your mind focus on what's being said and allows your body to relax in a really great way. All right, so I invite you to sit, get comfortable. Feel free to close your eyes or just lower your gaze. All right, now let's focus on breathing in through our nose and out through your mouth. And again, breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. So we'll continue with this breathing. And I invite you to plant your feet firmly to the floor. And relax your arms at your side, allowing your shoulders to sink a little bit lower every time you breathe out. I invite you to just notice your back, maybe leaning against the back of your chair, your hips sitting into the chair. And just noticing your body physically relaxing. And there's nothing that needs to be done, nothing that needs to be thought about in this moment. Your only job is just to focus on your breathing, to give your body this break. Now, if you do have any thoughts that come to you, just imagine they're like a cloud coming into your vision. And then just as you see that cloud thought appear, just allow it to pass by. As you breathe in, I invite you to think about the breath coming in through your nose, the warm heat coming in. And as you breathe out, just allow the hot air to come out of your mouth and allow your body to sink a little bit deeper into the chair. So breathing in, noticing the sensation of your breath, breathing out, allow your body to relax a little deeper into the chair. And you can repeat after me as we continue to focus on your breathing. I am choosing to allow my body to relax. I have the time and ability to relax. I deserve to take the time for myself. I am choosing to invest in my health. Allowing myself to relax feels easier and easier. When I allow my body to relax, I am truly loving myself. Let's focus on 3 more deep breaths together. Breathing in through your nose, out through the mouth. Maybe breathing a little bit deeper for 2 more. One more. Just notice how you're feeling in this moment. Just know that you have the ability to come back to this place of relaxation any time of day. You are worthy of this. You are deserving of it. So let's bring some movement to our toes. You can wiggle your toes, wiggle your fingertips, bringing some movement back to our body. And as we come to the close of our time together and in this meditation, I'm going to give you a moment just to say anything that you need to yourself, a word of encouragement, some kindness. So let's take one more deep breath in and breathe out. And you can open your eyes when you're ready. Give yourself a hug. So I want to thank you so much for joining me this morning. I hope you feel really more centered, grounded, relaxed. And I want to remind you, like I said, that at any time you can take this moment for yourself, be present. All right, and I hope you can take this feeling with you into the rest of your day. Namaste.
Thank you, Evan.
So thank you so much, Meg, for the session today and for the Zen that you're leaving us with. Ottawa branch wants to thank Meg, but also thank all of you for your participation this morning. We thank you for joining us on this webinar, and we encourage you to join us on future webinars that are upcoming. Just a reminder, you will be receiving an email with all of the information that was presented today by Meg, including a recording of the session. It will also have information with regards to upcoming webinars in the next few weeks. So we encourage you to take a look. Also, I want to remind our members that we have a special partnership with Meg. And so please check our webinar site for all, our website for all of the information with regards to how you can engage with Meg and the special partnership. On that note, because we're all feeling very relaxed and it's time to enjoy the day, I want to wish you all a great day and au revoir. Et à la prochaine. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.